does it have any particular time to check, or is it just a case of random, or how does it work, please?
So this is the RTD. RTD stands for real-time trend detection. TP, third TP, fourth TP. So in terms of knowing if it's a good or bad trade, it really comes down to if it's a repeated trade or not. Okay, awesome. Welcome everyone to the weekly Q&A. As always, this weekly Q&A is there to have you guys answer any questions. If you guys have concerns, if you want to review some strategy mode trades, really just there to help you guys move forward. If you're new, if you're kind of learning things. So if there's questions, if you guys want to know anything about strategy mode, if you don't know what to do, today is a good time to ask. So if you guys have questions, put them into the chat, please. The BFT panel doesn't have a time panel, so it makes it hard to know if the time has lapsed or still a good time. When is a good time to check the strategy and input new trades? What are you looking for in the time panel? Are you trying to see if the trade is still good to take, or?
Hi, yeah. So I want to know, like, just by looking at the actual BFT panel, it doesn't tell you when the BFT panel when it was actually devised. So I don't know if it is still valid, or if the optimum time has actually lapsed, or when, because had it said this is what was found at 10 a.m., then at least I would know it is still valid. But because it doesn't have any time, I don't know if it's still valid, and I don't know if there is any particular time that it's no longer or is least effective. Does it have any particular time to check, or is it just a case of random, or how does it work, please?
Good question. So the trade is always going to be valid until it becomes invalid. So until if price goes above it and hits stop loss, that's when the trade becomes invalid. But as long as price is below your entry, so for example, right now on AUD JPY, if you look at my screen, you can see price is trading below my entry. So that means this is a trade that we can set up. Of course, if price is trading above our level, that's something we can't set up because we're only entering with limit orders. So we want price to be below our entry so we can set up our limits. In terms of knowing if it's a good or bad trade, it really comes down to if it's a repeated trade or not. If the trade has been repeated multiple times, then that's a trade you should skip. But if you made money on the first trade, on the second trade, then that's a trade you can take multiple times. But if let's say you joined today and there's an old trade still going on and it's been repeated a couple of times, that's a trade you should skip. And the way to see if a trade is repeated, if you simply draw your line or like a horizontal rectangle across your entry and your TP as well. So we'll take this, we'll duplicate this, whoops, put it on TP. So for example, this one, you can see how, so this trade only popped up, a few days ago. So once it popped up, we can see how often it's been repeated. So price went down or entry, and you can see it never went back up, right? So it never went back into entry and then down. So this is a fresh trade because we don't see it, anytime that it went back into entry and into a TPs. So this is a new trade. If we look at something like which one was repeated, I think there was one, was it Euro AUD? Yeah. So for example, this one, if we draw our lines here, so this here is our long entry. Let's duplicate it, put it into a TP2. Here we can see, so this is our entry level here, the bottom one. We can see our first entry was here, that's our TP. Second entry here, TP. Third TP, fourth TP. So this trade has already, played out multiple times. So the probability is not going to be as high. But if it's a fresh trade, if it's the first time playing out, the probability will be higher. So if it's a repeated trade like this, that's a trade we want to skip because it has a low probability of playing out. Does that make sense? So there's no certain time or anything that tells you when a trade came on. It's just as long as the trade isn't repeated as often, then it's a good trade to take. If you have any trades that you want me to look at, I can review those too as well for you. Just let me know.
Thank you.
Welcome to all the new people. If you just joined, welcome to the weekly Q&A. In the weekly Q&A, what we do is we go through any questions. So if you guys have any questions you want to go through, if you don't understand the strategy, happy to review anything that you guys want me to review. So yeah, if you guys have questions, put them into the chat and hopefully I'll be able to answer them for you. In terms of when is a good time to input the new trades, so it depends on your lifestyle. You can do it any time. I usually do it like once a week. So like market open Monday or Sunday night, I'll do it. And if a new trade pops up randomly and I happen to see it, then or someone talks about it in the global chat, then I'll put that in too. But I usually only do my review once a week, put them in. But again, if I do notice something, I'll just, if it's valid, then I'll still put those limits into my account. Can you explain the spread line at the bottom? Are you talking about this here, the RTD at the bottom here? So this is the RTD. RTD stands for real-time trend detection. It tells us where the trend is right now. So you can see the global. It's saying uptrending. Uptrend. That means that the overall trend, the macro trend, is uptrending, and the local, that's kind of more of the short term, so the micro, and it's currently uptrending as well. So if we have the global and the local both in alignment, that's a good signal. If, for example, if the global is down, the algo is not going to give you a short, like a sell opportunity. It's only going to look for longs. So, they're always going to be the same. So always want global and local to be the same when we're swing trading. So this helps us identify the trend and the momentum of price currently. Local, it's a lot of times used for the lower time frame traders, so the 1 hour and below. They love the local because it shows them where the momentum is right now. And yeah, that's really what it is. It tells you where the trend is. Any other questions about strategy mode, anything like that? You guys asked, can you do X mode setup example? What to look for and what not to? What the best pairs are and what if time frame is the best? We're gonna try to stick to strategy mode questions for now, just because the Q&A is more for people who are just getting into the strategy mode, because we don't want to confuse people who are just getting started. X mode is really something completely different and completely new. And if you don't even understand strategy mode yet, you won't be able to understand X mode. But if you do want to hear me explain X mode, I already have a video on it on YouTube. Just Google, or not Google, put in YouTube on our channel US30, and that video really explains everything that we'll just go through now. So, and also go through a lot of examples. So watch that video. It basically goes through exactly what you want to hear. On AUDGPY, it showed global and local RTD as downtrend, but it went up today. Yeah, so you can see how the momentum is slowing down on the local, right? So you can see local, these lines are getting thinner. That means the momentum is changing. But the good thing here you can see is global is expanding, means the momentum or the short-term pressure is getting stronger. But the market can't just move in a straight line. So you can see it already had a nice fall the other week. And whenever we get a big move, price needs to retrace. So now we're getting the retracement, hopefully to our entries here. And from here, we should probably see some more shorts. But the good thing is, it's good that price is going up because we have our entries here. And it's also good that the global, you can see the momentum is expanding, which means there's a lot of short sells going on right now. So not sells, maybe we should say bearish momentum. So that's good because that's exactly what we want to see when price hits this level. So the RTD is not just there to blindly enter trades; it's there to confirm the strategy you already have. So if you don't have a strategy, the RTD is not going to do you any good. It just helps us confirm or entries and exit. On RTD, the 2 lines each, what do they represent? So well, there's 4 lines. So we got the global, we got the alpha and a beta, and on local we also got 2 lines, which is the alpha and a beta. Can't really go into detail too much about it on what it means, but basically when these 2 lines cross, so you can see the top one and the bottom one, when they cross, that's where it changes from downtrend to uptrend. Same thing with the global. If this line up top here goes below the other one, then it's going to go an uptrend. So you can see it here in the past. So for example, our global here, we had a cross over here, right? So you can see price went from bearish here, we can see it cross here, and then from here went bullish. Yeah, so AUD is probably going to play out soon. Let's check up on oil. Oil still needs to go drop down a little further. GBCAT, not much going on here. UAN, still waiting for that. Sugar, this one we can take off the list. Gold, waiting for it to go into entries. USD-CAT, waiting as well. Oh, this one actually a TP. EUR-CAT, this one played out multiple times. But yeah, AUD yen, that's a good one to set up. And then we're just waiting on the other ones too. The Dojo, what's covered? The Dojo, basically the goal with the dojo is to take someone from a non-consistent trader to become an inconsistent trader. So if you're struggling with your trades, you can't become consistent, the dojo will help with that. So our goal is to just make profitable traders and help them reach their trading goals. So that's really what it is in short. So you go through a 3-week process in order to get to that point. Of course, some people take longer, some people take shorter, but what matters is at the end of the dojo, you have everything you need to be a consistent trader. From there, it's just a matter of putting in the work, putting in the time. You go through assignments. We have live trading sessions. It's a really good group to be in if you're ready for that type of support. It's not for people who just got into trading. It's more for people who already got some experience. So you've been trading for a month or two, and you just want to accelerate your results. That's what the dojo's for. This is my first week, so forgive me if my questions isn't the best, but is there a chat group where we connect? Yeah, for sure. If you there's a global chat, so if you join that, you'll be able to interact with a lot of different traders. Let me give you the link. It's also in the week 1, week 2 library. So I don't know if I'm guessing you went through that. So there should be a link there too. But here's the link to the global chat. And so make sure to join these Q&As every week. That's going to be the quickest way for you to learn, because you're gonna find things in your trading over the next few weeks while you go through the training, while you go through the setups. There's going to be things where you have questions too. You won't be able to find them somewhere, or maybe you're confused, you're overwhelmed. This is a good place to kind of go there at the first day of the week. Make sure you're doing everything correctly. And if you have questions, maybe you made some mistakes the previous week, or you don't know what exactly to do on a certain trade, you can join these and then get the help you need. So if there's ever questions that you have, you can join these Q&A calls, or if you just want to have a quick answer, you can shoot a question into the global chat. Very good support there to help you as well. See if there's any new trades going on right now. I'm in a GPP THF trade. I noticed the trade disappeared from strategy mode. That was stop loss, but seems to be returned back to entry now. What are your thoughts? So there's a few things that you can do. Is number one, if you don't feel comfortable with the trade, you can always move to break even, get out. If the trade is still valid and you still believe in the trade, just let it play out. There's many times when we were very close to hitting stop loss, but then it turned around and hit all of the TPs. So that's something you can expect for sure. Let me quickly open up GBP CHF and then let's have a quick look. So the global is still in downtrend. So there was no trend change. So I would say you can keep the trade. If the global starts going into bullish, then you can move to break even. But it looks like we just had a retracement. So you can see local is uptrending, but local is a short term. So there's two things you can do. You can leave it, which makes sense because the overall trend is bearish. So we can expect it to eventually perhaps break this support and then go further down. Or if you don't like to trade, if you want to get out, if you want to move on from this, you can move to break even and get out. Again, if these trades are making you emotional and you can't deal with them, just move your TBs to break even and then get out. But you don't want to make it a habit where you're closing trades either before they hit stop loss or before they hit TP. Always make sure you're either getting out that break even or you're letting it hit stop loss or TP. Because otherwise you're going to be missing out on a lot of trades if you kind of build that habit. It's not a good habit to have. Does that make sense, Jay? Does that help? Yeah, it's easy to get emotional, especially in your first week or two. But once you do this for a couple of months, you're going to realize that at the end everything works out. Sometimes price gets close to stop loss, but then falls back to entry, or falls back into TP. So eventually you're going to learn to trust the algo, because the algo is it is wonders sometimes the way it predicts the moves. So of course, if you're new, we as humans, we're not just going to throw ourselves into something we don't know. So that's why it's important to consume as much content as you can on the YouTube channel. Go interact with people in the global chat, because you're going to see that there's real community there that really wants everyone to succeed. And you're going to see that as long as you keep putting on trades, you're going to be in the green. But it's important that you dive into the content, you really learn the strategy. And I don't know how long you've been with us, but we just released Handbook 3.0. So the new handbook also has some updated information. If you guys want to have a look at that, you can access the handbook in the week 1, week 2 library. or you can just type handbook into the global chat, and then Grace will send you the link to the handbook as well. And that's just good to have bookmarked too. If you ever need to go through something, review something, you can always go back to the handbook, because all the rules that you should be following, that they're in that book. So if you have a quick question, if you need to make sure you're doing everything correct, just refer back to the handbook. That's always going to be the best place. And just a quick note for all the new people, make sure to not go into the exotics. The exotics overall don't have a good win rate. So make sure to stick to the majors and the minors for Forex. Those are going to work the best for you, just to save you some trouble. This one, so if you just joined recently, like this trade, like people were milking left and right. So this trade, people were hitting TPs on this multiple times. Let's see. This was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This trade hit TP 6 times, and it's still bouncing this thing. So now the strategy mode is gone, the trade. But yeah, this thing was, people hit TP on this quite a lot. Eventually it's going to break. You know, if you have a consolidation like this, basically what it means is price is accumulating orders. Was preparing for big move basically. So it's either going to break out up or it's going to break out down. So that's going to be interesting to see which way it'll break. But yeah, I haven't been trading this for my day trading just because it's been consolidating quite a bit. And let's see what else we have. I don't think there's any new trades. But yeah, if you guys are new, make sure to check out the weekly market review on the YouTube. So every Sunday evening, we publish a video where we go through the most or the best trades available right now. And, you know, I explain why it's a repeated trade, why you shouldn't take this one, why you should skip this one. And that's good information to know when you're just starting out, because you don't know what you don't know. So again, it comes back down to consuming all the content, making sure you're doing everything correctly. So I have the Telegram chat on my phone, but I don't see anyone talking. I just see posts that were being made. You're in the Breakfree Trading channel, which is just the announcement channel where we post updates and stuff. You want to join the chat, so click the link that I sent in the Zoom chat. That's going to be able to help you join the chat, or just give me a message on Telegram @Pibensky, and then I can invite you to that group too. But yeah, the link should work that I sent into the Zoom. I've been in your cat since 10:09. Seems to be constantly a lot short, currently profits, but just letting it play out. Yeah, awesome trade. Let the thing run. Yeah, I was in AUD CAD. AUD CAD was a nice strategy trade that hit TP. So entries were this resistance here. This was the entry up here, and then we voted down all the way down here. That was a good trade. Looks like your CAD. Let's see. Yeah, it's been consolidating. It's sideways. So right now it's going sideways, and that's why the trade came off, because it's going sideways. But again, if it's going sideways, that means it's preparing for a big move. So could go either way. We don't know. But guys, do you have any other questions? Let me know. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to put your comments in the questions into the comments, and then we can always ask any questions you have on YouTube as well. For Expo, check out the US 30 video. It really gives you everything you have to know. In order to trade Expo, you have to become expert. So the only way for you to be able to learn Expo is if you actually use it. But if you want to know how to use Expo, like what it means, go watch the video on US 30. That's going to give you a good explanation. What strategy is this with the 3 or 3 and an N? So that's X mode. X mode is the tool that traders use that know how to trade. So they use X mode to basically level up their trading. Again, R is resistance, S is support, N is for neutral. If you guys want to learn more about X mode, there's a video in week 2, and we also have a bunch of videos on YouTube about X mode. But yeah, X mode isn't a strategy. X mode is the engine behind strategy mode. So you need to apply your own trading plan. You need to apply your own strategy to X mode. You can trade it the way you want it, as long as it works, really. Yeah, AUDN looks good. Looking forward to that trade too. Maybe we'll get the entry tonight. All right, guys, that's it for this session. Again, if you guys have questions, make sure to join next week's Q&A. This video is recorded. It will be on YouTube in a couple of days. And if you guys have further questions, make sure to join the global chat. We have a good team there to support you as well. And make sure to watch the weekly market review coming out every Sunday evening. That explains the best trades to take right now across Forex, equities, commodities, etc. So yeah.